pick them up, yes. And there they go, and it's Gordon Stewart who made a very good start. And it's actually a sports car. The driver today is R. Skelton, but he's got taken going into the corner by Oxley, who's done a very, very fast time. I think it's going to be mainly a duel between these two drivers. See the rest of the field coming through, various shapes. A couple of close sports cars in there, actually, that will pick them up for you. And here they come, coming into view now. Quite a tag. You can get a different idea here of the lines. And look at this, it looks like a charge of the Light Brigade as they all hurtle down under Dunlop Bridge. And they'll be on the braking very shortly. Here they go now for Creek Corner. But there's Skelton, who's at the front. Oxley on the outside of him. P. Wallace. And Wallace is in car number 67. It's a Barracuda Ford V8. This is quite a combination. But there goes Skelton going through. R. Skelton. Car 48. Bit of a change going on there. Quite a big car, that the Barracuda Ford. It's a 4.457cc, so it's nearly 4.5 litre. But this little car in front is an MG Midget, a 1310, and they can be tuned up considerably faster. Here's a bit of braking going on coming into the causeway, and hello, he's lost it. That was a bad one indeed. It was a bad place to try there, and it was D. Stewart going through there. But he's lost out in second place and will drop back quite a bit. It's Skelton out in front now. R. Skelton scooting out of the picture there, and the little black MG Midget it is. There he comes back in, and pursuing him in grand style is P. Wallace. And you can see this characteristic style of his, Norman, as he leans out through there to get a real line-up on the corner.
I'm just taking a note of the cars as they go through. It was 48, 67, and 76, and 61, and 31. So the leader in front now we see is Skelton in the Elfin Ford. He's on the second now of the 5 laps. Over to the western crossing, approaching the top of the straight. And Bill, this is quite an unusual shot looking down the straight. As you mentioned, the different line we can see as the cars make their approach, and the complete variation. Some go to the left-hand side, some to the right, as they've got to come down to the braking area, the very slow part of the course on Creek Corner. But the man who's been in front from the inside of the front line of the grid is car number 48, and that's Skelton, and he looks as he's going up there, and in no trouble at all. He took Creek Corner very well that time.
Yes, I think this proves the point. At Warwick Farm is definitely a handling course, because this little midget, you watch it come through the corners, he's clipping the apexes, he's getting very good exits out of the corner. You'll see here, and we'll be remarking on this a lot today, because it's very, very important to clip that 1/5 of a second off. And here they go, and right in behind him is these other 2 bigger cars. There's a Brandeis going back on in the field between there's a D-type Jaguar there going extremely well. We'll try and pick that up for you, but at this point, here's this little 1310cc machine, a little MG Midget, showing the way now to this to the special of Wallace, which is called a Barracuda Ford. But he's putting the pressure on him now over the causeway, and they close up a little bit as through they go. There's an Austin Healey they're going through, following one of the other smaller cars, clipping the edges. Very spirited driving in this race. Good sports car racing. Open to all of them, and he's having a go down the outside, but not quite making it. We'll just try and get the numbers for you as we see them come through. The one in the Austin Healey going on the outside now is Arbon. There he goes, car number 31, and he's passing 61. Which is one of the little Hondas. So there once again is another very interesting battle. The little car behind on the screen is an 800cc car chasing a 3-litre Austin Healey, or 3.25 it is actually. So give you some idea that you've got to have a very, very good handling car for Warwick Farm. But anyway, this grand duel going on up in front here between Skelton, Skelton and car 48. Wallace sitting up very high. You can see the roll bars, which is compulsory. See, this one's got one right across the top. That's the Austin Healey of Bonds, going through the compulsory type roll bar. Right in behind is the little Honda. And you get, there's the Honda really on the power now, and still chasing after this big Healey. Once again, clipping the edges. Classical straight arm driving style as they go through. You can see the line they've got to pick. Everybody who takes it, they come out for the for the left-hander. They're chopping the apex, and then they've got to get back over onto the left-hand side of the track so they can line up to get a very good entry and exit out of that very, very tight right-hander. Incidentally, looking at the shot, you can see down where the cars head to, there's a few boards there with a sort of a marker, like a road sign, showing the drivers or reminding the drivers where they go. Now there's a classical sports car. This is one of the old, this is the D-type Jaguar, many times winner at Le Mans, in the hands of the famous Mike Hawthorne, and you can see there that this car very much outclassed today, but still going extremely well. Pressed on there with a little Elan in behind him. We'll try and pick up who that is that's going. It's Kay Berryman in a Jaguar D, in with the D-type Jaguar.
And the margins at the end of that lap, car 48 in front by about 2 seconds over car 67. 48 is Skelton, 67 is Wallace in the Barracuda Ford. In third place at the moment is car number 76. That's Kay Munyard in the Lotus Super 7 Ford. And then the two having the dice, 31 and 61.
You notice there, Norman, how Skelton comes across the track to close the gate out on acceleration from this big 4.5 litre car. He's using the corners to full advantage, but on the straight, he's got a show of getting the other car going past him. So he comes right wide into the middle of the track so that he's got to go around in one way or the other, and he'll have the advantage on braking for Creek Corner, which is a very, very tight right-hander. There's the retirement, as through he goes now. And there's the board showing the way round through the circuit, and here comes the midget in fine style indeed. Really good driving. This boy is going extremely well. He's getting all his exits and entries into the corners lined up. He's he's sorted out the course extremely well, and there he is passing a slower car. 91 it is. As through he goes, Skelton in 48, and he's motoring very fast indeed. But there's Wallace right in behind him there in the big Barracuda Ford, and not letting him get away at all. Round into the Polo they go. This is a very deceptive corner. It tightens up. You'll see them sometimes clip the edges here as they use all the track. Now the entry coming back into the main straight again for the run down past the pits and the start-finish line. Swinging in. Here he is on a very nice line indeed. Looks very, very neat. Sounding extremely well too. And there's the big Barracuda Ford with spewing out a little bit of oil on the overrun there. You can just see a puff coming out from behind it. Car number 67. Quite a monster-looking car, but very effective indeed, going extremely quick. Yes, it's smoking quite badly now, as you can see. Whether or not it'll worry it on this, I think this is about the last lap.
As I see the clerk of the course down here with the checkered flag in front of us, so this is the last of 5 laps, and this race, which has been going on all the time, between 48, and here's the great challenge come. And again, let's look at the line on the corner, 48 and 67.
Yes, Wallace using all acceleration that time in an all-out bid to try and get past the little midget. Through they go now. They're coming into the left-hander. They'll clip through right alongside of the protective fencing there. Now into the other left-hander. And there you can see a fine shot of Wallace sitting up there. And he's really pushing it through now, accelerating. This is an all-out bid indeed. A fine finish, this. Could be very exciting in the last run down to the checkered flag here in the pit straight. Round the top. Sorry, they're lining up now.
2/3 of the way round, Bill, the last lap, and what chance would Wallace would have of getting past him on the remaining part of the course?
Well, I would think he'd have to make his bid coming out of Polo for the little short straight down there. We'll just watch and see if he does. But there you can see the midget driver, Skelton, getting a little bit rattled at this stage. The pressure's right on. Now he's putting his foot right into it. He has to be handy to him at this right-hand corner at Polo. But I think the midget's just got that edge on him. There it is, about 20 yards or so in front. There he's accelerating up now onto him. And we'll see them hurdle in, and I think you'll see him close up on this corner and try and use the power down the inside. Here he is, and he's really going this time, but I think the midget will hold him off, and there's a very good finish indeed. An extremely fine one. A Skelton just getting through in car number 48. It's the little MG midget, and there's a battle still going on. There's the D-type Jaguar going through of Berryman's, Kay Berryman's, and he's being pressed along by these specials and all sorts of cars. There's a little Elan right up his tail there, and then nosing him on. You can see the very high fairing, very, very sleek car aerodynamically, this car, employing the famous XK engine, winner at Le Mans, and certainly one of the supreme cars in long-distance motor racing. But here he comes, there's an Elan diving through on the inside of him. Look at this finish, but Berryman will cross the line there, getting the checkered flag in front of the other cars that came through.
So the result of the Division 2 sports car. First was car number 48, R. Skelton in the MG Midget. Second was car number 67. That was a big Barracuda Ford V8 driven by P. Wallace. And third through was car number 76. It was Ken Munyard in the Lotus Super 7 Ford. First, second and third at the end of the sports car race, Division 2.